What's up guys, Nolan here, and today we're taking advantage of our recent chat with Nikita Buyanov, the lead developer of Escape from Tarkov, to update the answers to all of the most asked questions for Escape from Tarkov for November 2021. If you guys wanted to check out the summary of that chat with Nikita, that will be linked below along with the VOD for the full thing. This video will be for anyone who wants a quick understanding of what Escape from Tarkov is, where it's going, and approximately when it will be there. With how quickly it became and is still becoming popular, there's a significant portion of the community that doesn't know just how much is going to change over the coming years. The combination of language barrier, development difficulty, and a global pandemic has made it difficult to track these things as well, so that is where I'm hoping this video helps answer anything that you might be left curious about. But first, we're going to talk about a very different kind of raid with Raid Shadow Legends. Do you like elves? That's a dumb question. Everyone likes elves. That's why there's so many different kinds. Light elves, wood elves, weapon malfunction elves, you name it, there's an elf for it. Well, Raid Shadow Legends isn't going to be left out, and it's got some nice, nasty dark elves for you. Here in Teleria, we've actually got two kinds of elves, the high elves and the dark elves. Naturally, it didn't take too long for a war to start, where the high elves won, but not in any kind of permanent way. They keep trying to fix the relationship between the high elves and the dark elves, but well, we're 700 years in and they're not getting along. Time does not seem to heal every wound, it seems. If you ask me though, I'd say the dark elves are awesome enough already. They're like a legion of evil assassins and warlocks, and who doesn't love a good bad guy? What I love about this game is that you can take it anywhere on your mobile device and even kill time during the queue with some raids in between your Tarkov raids. The tactical and intelligent combat keeps making you think about what you can change about your lineup as well, which I can appreciate. There is a ton happening in Raid this month. They've got special events every single day, plus a bunch of awesome new champions, but the big update coming this month is the Guardian Ring. It's a huge feature that gives you a load of new ways to use your champions, including a whole faction Guardian system, a new way to get legendary champions you missed out on, and an entirely new way to upgrade your favorite champions. It's a massive deal and something myself and the Raid community are super excited for. With all of these updates, Raid has never been in a better place, and there are some more giant updates right around the corner. If you were on the fence, now's the perfect time to get started. And if you want an even bigger head start, all you have to do is hit the link in the description or scan this QR code right here. New players will get an epic hero, Chanaru, which you're looking at a shot of right here, and she is amazing in the Doom Tower. You're also going to get 200k silver, 1 XP boost, 1 energy refill, and 1 ancient shard, so you can summon an awesome champion as soon as you get in the game. You'll find your rewards right here in your inbox for the next 30 days only. Once you're in, you can find me in-game under the name Nice Guy Nolan, and if you're fast, you can join my clan. And it's that easy. Just click the link in the description, and I'll see you in game. Thank you, Raid, for sponsoring this video and supporting the work that I do on this channel. So the biggest topics would be updates to anti-cheat, improved netcode, and optimization of the game. When it comes to anti-cheat, there's a second global pandemic when it comes to cheaters these days, just gaming in general, and Escape from Tarkov is no exception, especially with the real money transfer involved. BSG are currently using BattlEye and have no public plans to change from that, but they are going to be adding 3 new modules in addition to what they have currently to help detect and act on cheaters much quicker than is possible right now. This is also in combination with additional report features for players, because BSG are adamant that the most effective system they have right now is acting on player reports, so remember to report anyone you think is cheating. When it comes to netcode, it's sort of in the same boat as optimization. There's some new tools coming with the update to the Unity 19 engine that will help with that. However, these are not day one fixes. These are tools in engine that allow the team to work faster and easier than before. Unity 19 is coming with patch 12.12, and there is for sure going to be improvements to overall stability, but as BSG continues to add more features, there's always the possibility of extra problems coming with those, where these new tools will allow BSG to fix them quicker than before. Real optimization doesn't come until the game is finished, and we still have a couple years till that point, if we're being honest. Every patch for the last couple years now has been really good for overall performance, so if you want to see what the game is like at its best, I highly suggest that you try to play as much as you can the week after a fresh wipe. Speaking of wipes, BSG still makes sure not to fully confirm them on their end until maybe a couple days before it actually happens, so it doesn't affect the player base too much if they end up delaying it. There has been times in the past where a date was given and it was actually several weeks later when the wipe actually happened, so obviously avoiding that would be good. If you really need to know though, I am as confident as I can be that 12.12 is going to be a wipe, and that we will be playing patch 12.12 in late December, if not earlier. I know that's not perfect, but that is absolutely the best that we can do with what we have right now. And if it helps, I have been right with my predictions for the last 2 wipes in a row, even when Nikita himself said otherwise. If you don't like losing your progress with the wipes, it is unfortunately essential for the development process, as BSG needs to wipe the game in order to add or fix major features. After launch, there will be a server setup for 2 different versions of the game, one with wipes and one without. They will play very differently with different balanced economies and XP scaling to make up for the lifespan of the accounts. Therefore, these will never overlap at all. Nothing from a wiped account will ever be associated with a non-wipe account, and you will never see a player in the open world from the opposite server. You will be able to have a bear and a USEC on each server for a total of 4 PMCs, 2 that wipe occasionally, and 2 that are permanent. When it comes to economy in-game, BSG still see this as an experimental state, so they want to make sure as many people as possible can experience as much of the game as possible in order to get proper feedback. In order to accomplish that, the early and end game is not properly defined, and the game will roll much differently after launch. At least on the permanent servers, what might not change too much is the economy on the wipe servers, seeing as the pacing that we have right now actually works very well for wipes every few months. The next big patch again is 12.12, and we will be getting VoIP, player inertia, a few new guns like the Scars, USP, double barrel shotgun, and MTS shotgun. The first iteration of the lighthouse location and some new tasks for the location are coming as well. As with any new patch, I expect there to be a spattering of new equipment and weapon attachments as well. We know we are finally getting the suppressor for the UMP, for example. Nikita said that we can expect some surprises, so we'll see what shows up on the day. In terms of maps, the big ones are Lighthouse, which the first iteration will be coming with patch 12.12 again. The next iterations will be coming approximately spring of next year. Depending on how many more there are, it could take longer. Streets was slowed down significantly because BSG decided to take most of the team that was working on Streets in terms of artwork and move them to work on Lighthouse because they knew they could get Lighthouse released much sooner if they had done that, whereas Streets still needed a lot more time no matter who was working on it. Now, I could be wrong with this, but I think it's because specifically there was some engineering work that needed more time with Streets, where it wouldn't have mattered how many people were working on the environment for Streets, they still would have needed more time for whatever this engineering task was. And Streets is going to be a huge location, so I'm not surprised it needs significantly more time. Now, Streets is still planned for patch 13, and my guess is still the summer of next year for that first iteration of the massive location. And yes, you heard that right. As with any other map, there is going to be iterations of the location launched in segments. Both the suburbs and town locations have been cut from the launch release of the game. They will instead be released as DLC locations. Especially with how big Streets has gotten, BSG are more than confident that what we have right now is enough for the launch of the game. And what I mean by that specifically are the maps that we have right now, plus Lighthouse, Terminal, the Arena location, and of course Streets. We have no roadmap or ETA on Terminal or the Arena location either, but if I had to guess, I would say the Arena location will be next, as it is smaller than Terminal and there is a separate team dedicated to it specifically. Speaking of Arena, BSG have decided to keep that secret on the release, and it could very easily pop up as a surprise next year, again seeing as there is a separate team dedicated to just that mode. Although mode might not actually be the best word for Arena now. BSG have made us aware that they are planning to have it be separate from the main game and a separate cost. They're also undecided whether or not the Edge of Darkness owners, which is the biggest, most expensive version of the game that you can get right now, will get it for free due to the expanded scope of the essentially now separate game. What I mean by that is Arena will have its own server infrastructure, map, features, and economy separate from the main game. Major features we know are coming in the next year, apart from 12.12, is more advanced weapon malfunctions like overheating, an unconscious state for players that are badly wounded but not killed, advanced movement like vaulting, climbing ladders, dragging bodies, and switching hands to shoot. There's a new extract where you can just drop off gear instead of leaving the raid, allowing you to stay in longer but guarantee that you get something out of it. There's the vehicle taxi service with vehicles like the BTR on Streets or the train on Lighthouse that will bring you around while you use its weapons for protection. There's also the customizable rig and custom armor hitbox system that should release around patch 13. Something that should be noted here is also the PMC Karma system, which should have released around the same time as patch 13, and that could still be the plan because it's still a few months out, but Nikita did say they froze that specifically because what they had intended for the PMC Karma system, according to them, most likely would not have worked in the game as it is right now. So they decided to scrap it, and they're going to completely redesign it from the ground up. For new guns, apart from what's in 12.12, there's a list of guns that we've actually seen as work in progress and ones that we haven't. In terms of what we've seen work in progress, there's the G36 in each of its variants, Rhino revolver and its variants, RPD, HK28, and a wide variety of underbarrel as well as standalone grenade launchers. In terms of what we know is planned but we haven't seen any work in progress yet, there's the AUG, FAMAS, Galil, AN94, RPG-7, RPG-26, AT4, Law Rocket, the SAW, and bolt-action rifles in both 408 Chi-Tac and 50 cal. You may have noticed that this list is much shorter than the list that I had previously, and that's because I've started to doubt what they will be able to actually get into the game, regardless of what they say that they have planned. Guns are notorious for taking a really long time in this game because they decide to model every single piece of the weapon internally, which obviously takes a significant amount of time. What I've listed there is my confident list and for my non-confident list, you can see the list of guns that was in Hired Ops, which was their previous game. Since it is the same universe, any of those weapons have a right to be in Escape from Tarkov. Then on top of that, pretty much add anything that you want in there for the DLC weapons, because they've always wanted a ton of guns in the game. But again, those are for DLC, so that's after launch. And that is everything that I've seen constantly asked about in the comments over the past few months. 12.12 is sure to have a couple surprises, so expect me to update this once again in a couple months after we've seen it for ourselves. For anything else that pops up, you can expect to see it here on the channel and know more once I do. Until then though, guys, for the latest Tarkov news, check out these playlists here. If you like this video, then you know the drill. Please subscribe. I really appreciate the people who do. If you're looking for people to play with, check out our Discord with a great LFG from more games than just Tarkov. The link is below if you're interested. Otherwise, I hope you have a nice day. See you guys.